Well, once again, welcome to Summit Alliance Advantage Thursday training. I want to thank you for your patience, and we're going to go ahead and get started now. My name is Jason Martinez, and today's training we're going to be going over the American Amicable family and senior choice final expense products, the Golden Solution product there at American Amicable. And, American Amicable, really great company. We try to be strategic in the carriers that we partner with, and American Amicable has a phenomenal product. It's a wide range of parameters there for what it allows for in the coverage, and so kind of jumping right into it. And also, just so you know, we have, if you have not been to American Amicable's website, of course I recommend you get familiar with it. You can order your materials from there. You can order client brochures, applications, agent guides, things to that effect. But you'll notice on this webinar, on the right-hand side below, it has handouts. And if you click on the handouts, you'll see that I have the agent guide there for the product, for the Golden Solution product, also for the Family Choice product, and then there's another little marketing piece that they have. This here, again, as I mentioned, they have two products for final expense. Now, what I mean by two products, one that goes from ages 0 to 49, which is their Family Solution, and then the other, which is their Golden Solution, of course, for ages 50 to 85 and above. So two great final expense products, and we'll kind of get into details into those here shortly. They also have other products at American Amicable. American Amicable is really known for their non-medical products, and for those of you that have worked with us for a while know that we're really big on simplified issue products, non-medical life insurance products. For many reasons. When you're able to get your client covered without a medical exam, first of all, that's a bonus. And to have, that policy get issued very quickly, that's an even bigger bonus, because your client is able to get that protection, that security in place, that they were seeking, and you're able to get that done right away for them. So, they have that, and they know that you're the go-to person. You're the person that got that done for them. So they're going to, refer people to you, and having carriers like American Amicable to get the policies issued quickly and right away with great products. Like they have their Easy Term product. This is a non-medical term, designed again for easy issue for basic term life insurance needs. And then they have their Home Protector. Again, this is another non-medical, easy to issue term product designed and primarily used for mortgage protection. And in that market, again, that's another phenomenal market that we like. And you have a great product there. They have return of premium options, disability options, and of course the life coverage. So a great product with the Home Protector. And then they also have the Easy UL. It's a non-medical universal life policy designed for easy issue. So you may have someone that's looking for more life coverage than what the final expense will offer. An Easy UL is a good product to have in your back pockets. But today, again, we're going to talk about final expense, the final expense products that they have. As I mentioned earlier, you can go to American Amicable website and you can order marketing material directly from them. They'll ship it out to you at no cost. And this is one of the marketing pieces. This is eight reasons concerned seniors purchase final expense insurance. Just something to kind of have, some knowledge to have in your back pocket, things that people may not take into consideration, when getting their final expense insurance. The insurance company check may come direct to your beneficiary, or can be assigned to your beneficiary, by your beneficiary to the funeral home. So there's different things, to talk about with your client. They have great marketing pieces. This is just a small example. As a matter of fact, this is included as one of the attachments in today's webinar. This is the second page to that. It kind of allows you to kind of go over the reasons, and then allows you to kind of break it down a little bit to kind of, put on paper in front of them, the expected cost of final expenses. And, so you can give them a future, a rate as far as what it would cost to cover, those future expenses. And this is kind of a little breakdown, which can allow you to do that. So again, just real simple, easy to use marketing pieces, kind of goes along with their simplified issue products. And, all of that kind of goes hand in hand. So as we mentioned, Golden Solution is their primary final expense product. Like many final expense products, as it states, Golden Solutions offers 3 levels of coverage based on health. They have the immediate death benefit, of course. That's what most people, are going to qualify for. The medical questions that they have, are very lenient as far as what they'll cover. And so 100% of the face amount is paid immediately with the immediate death benefit, of course. Then they have the graded death benefit, where 30% of the selected face amount is paid if the death occurs during the first policy year, and then 70% paid the second year, and then 100% paid the third year. Now, if it's a death due to an accident during the first 2 years, it would pay 100% of the death benefit for all of the years, even the first and second year. The return of premium death benefit. This is kind of like your typical graded policy. It returns premiums plus 10% for the first 3 years if under age 65, and for the first 2 years if 65 or older at the date of the policy issued. And it's 2 years for all ages in Illinois, New Hampshire, and New Jersey. But 100% of the premiums is paid back after the graded period, and 100% is paid for accidental death. Now, of course, during the first 2 years or 3 years, if they're 65 or younger, or 64 or younger, then it would pay 10% plus interest. So, again, they have an option. So if you have a client whose medical challenge is extreme, where they do not qualify for the immediate death benefit, well, they have a couple of other options there. And you can kind of go through the application, and it will direct you as to what they qualify for based on the answers to the medical questions, and we'll get into that here shortly as well. Now, as far as what the product will cover, ages 50 to 85. Now, it covers all the way till age 110. The minimum face amount of $2,500, and you can see the maximum face amount is $35,000 for someone up to age 75, and then $20,000 if you're 76 to 85. And so, you can pay attention to those death benefits there. The maximum graded death benefit, what we went over, 30% the first year, 70% the second year. The most they can get with that policy is $20,000 from 50 to 85. And then the maximum death benefit for the return of premium is $20,000 as well. They do have additional benefits in riders. The accidental death benefit rider can be added, which doubles the face amount of the policy. It's not available on the return of premium plan. The grandchild rider, can also cover great-grandchildren. The Children's Insurance Agreement rider, again, not available on the return of premium. They also have nursing home waiver of premium rider, which is not available, but of course will waive the premium if confined to a nursing home. They have the terminal illness accelerated benefit rider, and again, this is automatically included at no additional cost, and it will cover if a terminal illness is diagnosed, and basically within 12 months or less to live. They have the accelerated benefit confinement care. So again, if you're confined to care, receiving care, you can access a portion of the death benefit to help with expenses, nursing care costs, or anything to that effect. So some great benefits there, within the final expense policy. But again, ultimately people get final expense because they want it to make sure that their final expenses are covered, that their family's not left with thousands of dollars of debt, to have to cover the final expenses that they're going to be facing upon their passing. So they also have the family choice. Again, this is the product for clients that are younger than 50. So if you have someone that's looking for final expense, they just want to make sure they get their policy taken care of, you can cover from ages 0 to 49. And again, it covers up to age 110, minimum face amount of $10,000 because the cost of insurance is so less expensive for ages 0 to 49. They require a minimum face amount of $10,000. The maximum face amount is $35,000. And they do have a return of premium death benefit option. Notice they don't have the graded, but they do have the return of premium with a maximum of $20,000. And the same benefits and riders are available for the family choice, except the grandchildren's rider, of course, because they don't have that at that age for this particular product. Now, with the accidental death benefit rider, Again, not available on the return of premium plan, but will pay an additional, basically double the amount if due to an accident. And then the children's insurance agreement, the waiver of premium, the terminal illness accelerated benefit rider, which again is included at no additional cost, and the accelerated benefit confinement care. So basically your same riders that are available with the Golden Solution except for the grandchildren rider. Now, as far as underwriting and qualifying your client for the product, this is what's great about this product in the application. We always say with Final Expense, the app is the map, because with most of your Final Expense products, especially American Amicable, based on the answers to the medical questions that you go over with your client, that's going to determine what they qualify for. That's going to direct you to what they qualify for, making it very simple to qualify your client. Now, there is a telephone interview required. It's recommended if you can get that done at the home, that's great. You can indicate the best date and time for the interviewers to contact your client. So if you're not able to do it in the home, and if you are able to do it in the home, at the top of the form there's a telephone interview confirmation number that you'll indicate once it's completed. That will allow them to pull that information quickly. Now what's great about American Amicable is they issue products very quickly. Even though it's a paper application, you're still going to get a decision in about 2 to 3 days. And and if it's really clean, I mean, it can be even sooner than that. They move very quickly. They basically, to qualify the client, just like most Final Expense products, they check with the Medical Information Bureau, and they're going to cross-reference that information with the questions that you went over with them. And then they check the pharmaceutical-related facilities, basically a script check, checking the prescriptions that they've been prescribed or had filled in the past, I believe it's 12 years. The proposed insured's billed. They have liberal height and weight charts for their Final Expense product. Now, the telephone interview, it is required on every application for the immediate and graded death benefits prior to it being issued. So, after completing the application, you can call from the client's home, which is recommended, or the company will reach out, as I briefly mentioned earlier. So, always try to get it done in the home. Of course, that's the best method. Now, if you're outside of the telephone interview hours, then of course you'll have to just indicate the best date and time for American Amicable to contact your client. So a little bit more on the underwriting. Again, simple yes or no. There's no medical exam. Rates that will not increase. We always put our clients in good solid products. Not benefits not subject to federal income tax. Pretty basic stuff with life policies. They do build cash value, but very minimal. Again, people get Final Expense to pay for Final Expenses because they know that it's life coverage that they're going to use, that their family's going to use to carry out their best wishes. So typically people don't get Final Expense policies for cash value, but there is very minimal cash value that is built in the policy. As far as some underwriting hints, or underwriters will try to evaluate the risk as quickly as possible. So the following factors are essential. Good field underwriting. Carefully ask the questions. Jog their memory if they're not sure about something. Well, was it, I can't remember if it was what time of the year it was. Well, was it, cold? Was it summer? Was it winter? What part of the season was it in 2000 or something like that? And, just little things like that. Can you remember any medication that you either been prescribed or had filled? Whatever the question may be, just try to accurately record the answers. Let the client know. If you can just answer these questions to the best of your ability, to the best of your memory, the best of your knowledge, because basically what they'll do is they're going to review your medical background. They're going to cross-reference that. They're going to make a decision based on the answers and what they find in the medical history. Now, I'm real big on underwriting with my clients. Spending 10 to 15 minutes extra being thorough on your medical questions can mean the difference of 2 to 3 weeks on your policy being issued and your client being covered, and ultimately your bank deposit hitting the bank. If you're good in the home, if you're good with your underwriting right off the bat, if you're thorough with your underwriting, you complete the application in good order and it stays in jet issue status, you're going to get paid right away. Your client's going to get covered right away. It's a win-win for everyone. Your client has that immediate security, and you have that immediate financial security. So just let the client know to be as thorough as possible, and whenever you call into the phone interview, just let them know, just answer the questions just as you did with me, a simple yes or no answer, if there's anything that you can't remember, we'll try to remember that before we call in, and that way you can answer the questions in confidence, either yes or no, accordingly. Again, a little bit more on practice good field underwriting. Just a little bit more tips on this. If you're an agent that's out there that's writing good business and your applications are clean when they get to the carrier, your underwriting is thorough, your field underwriting, basically you asking the medical questions to the clients, recording that information on the application, then as these underwriters receive your application, they're going to become familiar with your business. Just keep in mind that in most cases with the insurance carriers, they have a team of underwriters. And these underwriters are very familiar with the agents that write and send in business to the insurance company. So if you're an agent that's sending in good business, they're going to get your application, and it's probably going to go through with a little less scrutiny than an agent that's out there that's taking shortcuts, that's not answering the medical questions properly, maybe missing pages, or just sloppy applications. Then that application is going to receive more scrutiny. They're going to look through that with a fine-tooth comb, and they're going to make sure that everything is the way it should be. So if you're out there doing what you're supposed to do, practicing good field underwriting, then the underwriters are going to become familiar with their business. They're going to know, and your business is going to go very smooth. You're going to get a good relationship with the underwriters. When you call in and talk to them or get risk assessments, they're going to know who you are, and you're going to be able to get your questions answered. And not that you wouldn't before, but you're going to have good standings with the insurance carrier as a good agent and thorough about your business whenever you submit that to the company, as opposed to this is a red flag agent. Let's make sure that everything's in good order and spend a little bit more time on underwriting this case. So just a pretty big tip there. Now, as far as completing the application, what's great about American Amicable's application is it's very simple to complete. It's very short as well. You'll notice at the top, that's where you have the insured's basic information, name, address, date of birth, male, female, age, date of birth, social, height, and weight. Now you'll notice telephone case number, telephone interview completed. Now if you can complete it in the home, of course you'll indicate yes, and you'll indicate the telephone case number just above that. If for some reason they're not able to do it while you're in the home or you're outside the telephone interview hours, then of course enter the best number to contact them at and the best time to call, AM or PM. So, because again, the telephone interview has to be done before the application can be approved. So, I'm highlighting the fact that the telephone interview needs to be done that way. It gets done right away, because I've seen I've seen agents maybe go out to the client's home and not be able to get the telephone interview done and then forget, or whatever the case may be, maybe not realize that a telephone interview is needed and the application's sitting there waiting on the interview to get done. So again, just another part of being thorough with your business. There in the middle where it asks for plan, you're going to indicate, family choice, golden solution, face amount of insurance. This is the death benefit that they're applying for. And then underneath plan, it has the three boxes: immediate, graded, and return of premium. Of course, you're going to indicate accordingly as to what they're applying for. And if you're not sure what they're going to qualify for, you can actually check the box to the right that says check here if you're willing to accept any plan for which you qualify for based on the application. So, again, makes it pretty easy to get that done. Now, if you're adding any riders to that, again, there in the middle of the page underneath the product parameters, as far as the plan and the face amount, you're going to select the riders, if any. If they have grandchildren rider, child rider, if they want the accidental death benefit or not. There where it says automatic premium loan elected, I normally indicate yes for my clients. The reason being, unless they tell me no, I'll let them know what it's about. But what it does, this will pay the premium of the policy out of the cash value if the client's ever in a situation where the premiums do not get paid. Let's say something happens to the client, the bank deposits don't get into the bank, the draft does not go through, and the client's in the hospital, not able to fix that. Well, in that case, something could happen. If you don't have the premium loan selected, then the policy could potentially lapse. But if that is selected and the client's premiums are not being paid for whatever reason, then it would then pay the premiums out of the cash value until the client gets that resolved. So the policy would then stay in effect. So just a little safeguard for your client if for some reason the premium's not ever being made. There's also underneath there you have the mode, you have bank draft, which in most cases you're going to select the bank draft. If you have draft first premium on required date, of course you'll enter the date that they want that drafted. And then the model premium, that's of course the monthly premium or the annual premium, whatever it's set up on. In most cases it's going to be a monthly premium. They have the CWA, which is cash with application. Now they have an e-check, which is basically, which I'll get into here shortly, but is the check with the application, and this is a form that you'll fill out, and you'll indicate the amount of the premium. Again, there under the model premium, and then you're going to select e-check immediate first premium, or if you actually collected a check, which always just get the banking information and let them draft the first premium. Now with the e-check immediate first premium, what that's stating is that the coverage is in effect immediately, provided the application is approved. Once American Amicable receives it, they will draft the first premium. So that's basically binding coverage immediately. Gives you the option to do that. Some clients want that, or you can just send it in with the banking information, which I'll cover here shortly, and they'll approve it and then draft the premium once it's approved. Then you have the option to mail policy to the owner insured or agent. I highly recommend you have that mailed to the agent. That way you can deliver the policy. That way you can explain everything in black and white. You can pull out the policy, solidify the security of the coverage in the mind of your client, by going over that. And then, of course, gives you the opportunity to ask for referrals, take care of anyone else in their family that may need to have their final expense or life insurance or living benefits coverages taken care of. A and B, do you have existing life insurance or annuity contract? Of course, you're going to answer this accordingly. Now, if they do have existing insurance, you'll answer yes. Now, in most cases, we're not replacing, so part B or question B would be no. Now, if you are replacing, because it is in the client's best interest, and if you've heard my training before, you've heard me kind of go over this, we're not in the business of replacing policies. Only replace a policy if it is in the client's best interest. Let's say they're totally healthy, they qualify for an immediate death benefit, but some agent before you came in and sold them a graded policy, so they have to wait 2 years before the policy is in effect, but yet they qualify for an immediate death benefit. In that case, that would be in the client's best interest to replace that policy, so there's just a small example. Again, just make sure it's in the client's best interest. Now, if they do not have coverage, of course, you can indicate no. And if you are replacing because it is in their best interest, then you would indicate the policy information and fill out the replacement form accordingly. Indicate yes and indicate why you're replacing. And I'll briefly cover that here shortly. At the bottom of the top box, it asks for the physician name, city and state, and phone number. Make sure and get some physician information here because they're going to need this information at the carrier to confirm any kind of medical records or treatment or anything like that. I've sat down with clients myself who, well, I don't go to the doctor. I'm healthy. There's no reason for me to go to the doctor. Well, okay, not a problem. When's the last time you've even been to a clinic, maybe the emergency room in the last 5 years or so or anything like, well, no, I'm totally healthy. Okay, well, where were you born at? So basically get some type of doctor. Maybe they've been for a sinus checkup or whatever the case, maybe just a physical for work or whatever the case may be. If they don't have a physician name but they have a clinic name, go ahead and write down the name of the clinic, the location, and the phone number. Basically get some type of physician or clinic name for your client. Then you'll notice you're going to go into the medical questions. Pretty basic here. What I really want you to take note of is after question number 3 in bold, right above the line, it says if any answer in question 1 through 3 is answered yes, the proposed insured is not eligible for any coverage. So this is going to tell you right off the bat if they're eligible for American Amicable's product or not. Of course, if they're not, we're going to pivot to another product. If they are, then you'll continue on if you get all no answers. So you'll notice down at below question 7D, it says if any answer to question 4 through 7 answered yes, the proposed insured should apply for the return of premium death benefit. So again, you answered no to the first section, we can move on. There's a chance they can at least qualify for the return of premium. But you get a yes answer here, well, they would only qualify for the return of premium benefit. Let's say they answer no. Okay, well, now you can move on to question 8. It says if any answer to question is answered, if any answer to question 8 is answered yes, the proposed insured should apply for the graded death benefit plan. So again, 1 through 7, you get all no's, but yet number 8, B, A, B, C, or D, you get a yes, then they qualify for the graded death benefit. Now, if you get all no's, then of course they qualify for the immediate death benefit. Now, these questions you'll notice, if you read through them, and I highly recommend reading through your questions before you ask your clients these questions. Don't turn the application over to the client and say, read these and answer these. Read the questions to your client, answer them accordingly. And again, read through them first so you can, if there's a medical term in there that you need to know how to pronounce, you can become familiar with that before you try to read it to your client. So again, make sure and ask those questions to your clients, answer them accordingly, and be thorough in your underwriting. So as you're going through these medical questions, well, I'm not sure. Well, think back, jog their memory, if you can. And again, that's just going to help you be thorough in your underwriting and completing the application, which all of that boils down to is getting the client covered quickly and getting the application issued right away, which means you get paid right away. Page 2 of the application, very basic. If you added a child or grandchild rider, you would indicate that information above. There in the middle of the page, you want to make sure and have them or sign it in the middle, but make sure and indicate the city and state and the date. And then, of course, you'll have the insured sign just below the city and state. And there below that is the agent's report. You'll notice they have a lot of things on one page. So, again, very short application here, just a couple more pages after this. But, of course, under the agent's report, you want to answer these questions accordingly. Does the proposed insured have any existing life insurance, yes or no? If you're replacing or if you intend to. If you have any agent remarks, you can indicate them here. And then, of course, print, date, and sign. And then your number. Now, you'll notice it has next to your number, it has a little percentage and another spot for another agent. This is if you're in a situation where you're splitting an application with another agent. You can indicate both agents' information here, and American Amicable will pay the percentage accordingly that's set on the application. But don't try and do 60-60. It's make sure that those percentages equal 100%. Also, pre-authorized check plan. You'll notice they have information here. So if you're setting up a draft, you'll fill out the banking information, routing and account number, checking or savings, the requested draft date, and then down below, make sure the client signs. This is a conditional receipt. Now, if you, which I'll cover here on the next page or so, if you had them do the CWA, the cash with application, draft first premium section, which I'll cover here shortly, then the coverage is pretty effective immediately provided the application is approved. If you just took the banking information and indicated the initial draft date for the first premium, then this is stating that the policy is effective once it's approved and the first premium is drafted. So this is basically a conditional receipt under those conditions. So make sure you fill that out and leave that with the client as well. This is a terminal illness disclosure statement. Since the terminal illness benefit rider is automatically included with this product, this form is automatically included. This is the authorization, and in all that form there's no signature or anything needed, just a disclosure. And this is your HIPAA form. pretty sure most of you are familiar with it, basically giving the insurance carrier authorization to pull and confirm the medical records based on the questions that were answered. And again, you'll have the client sign and date below, and a pretty simple form to fill out there. Again, another disclosure statement for accelerated benefits rider for confined care. Again, you know, something that's included with the policy. And here's the bank draft form, just to make sure we're clear. Where the top box, bank draft authorization, please attach a voided check. This is where if the client wants the coverage, but they don't want it drafted as soon as the application gets to the carrier, well, you know, Jason, I don't want my premium drafted until the 15th of the month. Okay, I get their banking information, I indicate the 15th of the month, and then I have them sign that box, and I get a voided check. Now, if they don't have a voided check, I'm going to complete the second box. Now, if the client wants their coverage, you know, Jay, I want my coverage effective immediately as soon as possible, go ahead, you know, just draft it immediately, that's fine. You know, they can draft it as soon as they get the application, you know, then that's when you would complete the third box, the E-check. Complete this section to immediately draft premium. So again, what that's stating is that as soon as American Amicable receives the application, they're going to draft the premium. The coverage is effective immediately, provided that application is approved. So again, you would have them sign and date below. Now, if they just want a draft date, I don't want it drafted till the 15th, then you don't have to worry about the third section below. Now, they do have an option for second, third, or fourth Wednesdays of each month. This is good for clients who are in a situation where they receive their Social Security benefits on a certain Wednesday of the month, whether that be the second, third, or fourth Wednesday of each month. So if this is the case with your client, you can indicate that accordingly, which will allow them to basically have that premium drafted the day that they receive their Social Security benefits. So, you know, reducing the chances of the premium not being made because something else had to have been taken care of. So, again, just another little neat feature that American has to make it, you know, more feasible for clients that are receiving their Social Security benefits, so they can have it drafted on the second, third, or fourth Wednesday of each month. Running quotes is very simple with American Amicable. You'll simply enter your agent number. You'll log in here. Now, as you log in, here's where they have the products. Remember earlier I said they have additional products, simplified issue products. We're looking for our final expense products, which are going to be Golden Solution or Family Solution. Now, most of your final expense products are going to be for seniors, again, so Golden Solution be your primary go-to, and simply select your product and hit Continue to Quote. Now, we want to calculate the premium based on the face amount. So I'm going to enter the face amount. Let's say this client wants $10,000. They're looking to get $10,000 male. I'm just going to quote Texas. We're here in Texas. Tobacco. This person's a non-tobacco user. Click No. Ask this client the medical questions. They happen to qualify for the immediate death benefit, and diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. No problem. They still qualify for immediate death benefit. Mode monthly. The age of the client, let's just say this gentleman is 60 years old. And then they're just worried about making sure that their final expenses are taken care of. They're not really interested in any additional benefits. So simply hit Generate Quote. And you'll notice the premium will populate at the top box. Now, if for $45.76, a male 60 years old can get $10,000 worth of coverage. Very, very feasible, affordable, you know, making that situation a lot greater for that, better for that client when the time comes for their family to take care of their final expenses. Wow, Jason, I didn't know that was going to be so cheap. How much is $15,000? So enter $15,000, simply change it. Hit Generate Quote, and it will give you the price. So to add $5,000 more brings the premium up to $67.32. So again, very easy to run your quotes with American Amicable. This is where You know, again, you can go here, simply enter the age, the face amount, male, female, the state, tobacco. I call it Jason proof. You really can't mess up. If you enter, as you saw, if you enter more, let's say, well, what's 40,000? Well, we all know that you can't get 40,000 because it'll tell you here. So again, it's Jason proof, dummy proof. It's not going to let you quote the client for something they're not eligible for. So very easy to run quotes with American Amicable. That's how you run the quotes there. And with that, you know, American Amicable is one of those simple, easy to use, easy issue, simplified issue companies. You know, we love companies like that. We love products like that. You know, as agents out in the field, you know, even when I'm writing business myself, I want my clients to get covered right away, and I want to get paid right away. That's you know, why I'm in business. You know, I love what I do, but at the same time, I love what I do because it you know, keeps my family financially secure. So, doing the things to you know, get your policies, using the carriers that are going to get your policies issued right away, using the products that are going to get your clients covered right away, and directing your clients to the right products, you know, can mean a lot. And American Amicable has some phenomenal products for that, and especially for the final expense market. So, you know, again, make sure and download the attachments if you have not already that are attached to the webinar under handouts. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me, Jason at SummitAllianceAdvantage.com, or you can call American Amicable, of course, directly. And again, don't hesitate to make sure that you're familiar with American Amicable's back office. Make sure you're familiar with our back office. We have additional training. This training will be or has been recorded and will be archived in our back office for future reference if needed, along with a lot of other training, a lot of wealth of knowledge back there, other products, marketing tips, tricks, tools, presenting in-home appointment setting, door knocking, you know, you name it, we have it covered in our back office as well. So you got your brochures, your products, your everything that you can order from American Amicable. You have your knowledge and training at the SummitAllianceAdvantage.com website. So take advantage of the tools and resources that are available. Make sure and download and order the marketing materials that you need to make sure that you're equipped to go out and get your clients covered with some great products. So I want to thank everyone for attending the Summit Alliance Advantage weekly webinar on American Amicable product.